You can get everything in the car moving fully. When it starts to stall out is when you're using the muscles here and trying to use only a portion of your breath. But I won't spend too time, you have to get the book. And then after that, I talk about strength. The strength of our voice comes from that core as well, from the full body engaging in what we're doing. Yes, the vocal cords live here, but without the breath being powered by the body, you're going to start to rely on the muscles, and that only lasts but for so long, you know? If an athlete were to go on the court and dribble like this all the time, do you think they'll be able to make the whole game? They wouldn't make it through the whole game. They will tire themselves out very quickly. Does that make sense? I'm already tired. So you have to make sure that as athletes pace themselves, you know, you see they kind of start off, see I'm getting away from the camera already. They kind of start off and it kind of looks like they're a little lazy at first. You watch basketball? Anybody watch basketball? Okay, yeah, so being able to pace your energy so that you're not putting all of your energy and strength and power out at one time. Learn how to pace yourself. If you're doing concerts, how am I going to get from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock singing all these songs without my voice cracking or without my voice cutting out on me, etc.? These are types of things that we have to keep in mind. I also talk about space, the natural space that allows the voice to flow freely. If our jaws are tight and we don't have a lot of space in our mouth, it's going to be difficult to project the sound. It's difficult to hear me speaking, right? And then also if I got is too tense, it's going to be hard to get clarity of sound. So you want to find that space in your mouth and in your jaw position that allows the voice to flow freely, and it doesn't constrict the space that the air needs to flow. Say with me, singing is the balance, of mind, body, and spirit. Singing is the balance, of mind, body, and spirit. So your mind is the strongest muscle that you actually sing with. With that, you think, I want to create this sound, I want to produce this note, and then your body engages. And the mind controls how the body is going to engage. So if we start being, again, intentional and thinking about what we want to get, eventually we will train our body. We're the most internal athletes there are. And eventually our body will start to engage with what our mind is doing. And then the spirit of what we're saying, the spirit of why we're singing, comes through with the voice as well. You don't get that same type of connection with an instrumentalist. Do you agree? Yeah? You don't get it, especially with the words. You don't get that same type of connection of the spirit and of the human connection, the emotion and all of that, like you do with a vocalist. And we're able to express in ways that many artists aren't able to. So it's a very unique and very special thing that we do. Excuse me. So we want to make sure that we are first starting with the intention behind that. And from that, I want to go into our masterclass. So before you come up, make sure you know what it is you are talking about, what you want to communicate, because I look for that first. We can forgive a lot of technical, things about the voice that may not be there. If you are communicating, you're committed to your text, you're committed to the message that you're conveying, okay? So with that, our first singer is Ashley Hunter. All right, let's give her a applause. I know I'm trying to get through. I want to make sure I have time to get through everything. And go ahead and tell us what you are going to sing. Tell us where you're from. And what else? That's it. Okay. Okay. Do you need kind of a picture? Okay.
Well, my name is Ashley Hunter. I'm from Detroit, of course. And I will be singing Deep River by Moses Holden.
Deep
Now, Ashley reminded me that I worked with her when she was just a wee babe in high school. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful job. And tell us a little bit about the training that you have had locally.
Okay. So in high school, I worked with Miss Nina Scott, the Nina Scott. And then I went on to Miss Patrice DeBose at Renaissance, and then I went to Bowling Green State University and worked under Miss Myra Merritt. And now I'm working with Miss Frances Brockington at Wayne State.
Okay, so you've had about 8 years or so of training, consistent training. And with this, the Deep River, do you feel like, how do I want to ask this? Do you feel like the tessiture or the placement of the pitches kind of sits in a funky spot? Is it completely comfortable when you first start?
Initially, yes.
Okay.
I am having trouble placing the, oh, don't you want?
Really?
It sounds weird to me, a little bit. It sounds kind of shaky.
Okay, so I feel like that part was more solid, the higher portion. In the lower portion, we weren't really getting the fullness of your resonance. Were you?
Sorry.
What's it?
Are you trying to record? Because it's not. Okay. No, we.
I forgot.
Oh,
it's all right.
Okay.
you got
I got it. Okay.
So if you could deep all the way back here to me, now we're in the most immaculate acoustic space, but if you could make sure your deep sends all the way back to the end of to the back of the room, okay? Send your breath in an arch, all right? Just try the first line. Deep river. All right, now with the deep, instead of making it bigger and wider, I just want you to point it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
You want me to actually point?
Yeah.
Okay. Deep river.
What do you feel different?
It just feels focused and forward.
Yes, I feel like you were trying to make the voice deep.
I was trying.
And it kind of created this wider vibrato that doesn't even fit your frame. It's just, you're a petite, beautiful girl. And then keep that sound lean, if you will. And keep the breath lean so that you don't have to overwork yourself, okay? All right, do it again. Deep river. Breathe in that small space.
My home is Jordan.
Okay, do my home is again. And as you, do you feel like your tongue pulled back on you at any point? Which word was it?
Jordan.
Okay, so let's try to keep the back of the tongue relaxed as you sing Jordan. Okay, my home.
My home is Jordan.
Keep going.
Deep river, Lord.
Yeah, don't drop it.
I wanna cross over into campground.
Okay, so when you're trying to get the last of your breath, I notice you start doing that, which is really if you expand more in your back and keep more space in between your torso, it would help you to use that last bit of breath all the way to the end. And that could be an emotional thing if you want to, but it'll start to constrict your breath if you lean back too much. Start going to the, oh, don't you want to go? Okay, can we start that again? Sorry. Instead of oh, just give me oh, don't say oh, don't you want to go?
Oh, don't you want to go?
It's still a little too wide. It doesn't really fit your frame. Oh, don't you want to go?
Oh, don't you want to go?
Yeah, so that gospel what? Feet, yeah. So that gospel feet, be more focused, more pointed as you send your voice out. Okay, you're ready to sing and.
Oh, don't you wanna go?
All right, so every time you get underneath about this pitch and low. flow, it starts to kind of widen out. Just keep it nice and thin. Keep it nice and shaped. All right? Hold on.
Oh, don't you wanna go?
Can you still want to go?
Oh, don't you wanna go to that gospel feast?
To that gospel feast.
To that gospel feast.
Yeah, that way your tongue will stay more relaxed. To that gospel feast. I got to that gospel. And it might seem more impressive, but if you do a whole concert like that, you'll wear yourself out quickly, okay? To that gospel feast.
To that gospel feast.
Oh, don't you want to go right there?
Oh, don't you wanna go to that gospel?
I know that. You fell below the Mason Dixon line. You fell below the line. You want to keep that voice elevated. Oh, don't you wanna go to that gospel feast? To where it kind of flows this way instead of you to that gospel. And bringing all that heaviness up, okay? Am I losing anybody with this? Okay. Oh, don't you want to go? We like to keep the voice elevated above in the top part of the mouth. So I like to think about singing with my top teeth instead of my bottom jaw. Hold on. And then you're in that mask placement, okay? Right. Top teeth. Yeah.
Oh, don't you wanna go to that gospel feast? That
Do it again. As you promised, can you expand your ribs and let your lungs inflate out? Don't squeeze in on the lungs. Just let them stay inflated, okay? And I don't have that note today, so I'm not even going to all right? And you float to it so effortlessly, but I want it to be even more, of a flow, okay? You want to start before that to their gospel? Okay. See?
that
Just press it right here to where those the ribs started to open this way. That promised land, where all is peace. Almost like we're doing this. We're just putting all the weight behind us, okay? That promised land again. Can you feel that on that?
Yes.
Yeah, always, yeah. The pivot, we need the pivot open as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That
You feel how you're kind of giving me this?
yes, I'm closing down.
Yeah, and that's going to cut off the airflow. When the air stalls out, the muscles start to take over, and then the resonance falls, and then it's a domino effect, okay? One more time on that and don't spend so much on that promise. Yeah, I'd rather the no than, we get it as the promised land. But I'd rather the no to flow out more easily than the promise, okay? And,
That's
let that note
you
blossom.
said that so much.
No, I meant on the
the
key,
key.
on the consonant. Oh no, got that note.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That
Keep it up.
is peace.
Yes, keep going. Point.
Lake Central High School. I've studied so far with my voice teacher, Michael McGlown, for about 3 years. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child, a long way from home, a long way from home. True believer, true believer, a long way from home, a long way from home.
All right. So I'm going to tell you also, like, baby girl, I told her, if you can point your soft singing a bit more. We already know you've got the sound, you've got the notes, you've got the depth, but if you could point that sound out here even more, especially when you're singing soft,
Okay.
and instead of singing down, when you sing up into an arc. Okay, go ahead.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child.
All right, let me stop you there. Can you sing it on just the vowels of the words? Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's all out. You cheat. Somehow I feel like I'm motherless child. Let me hear the difference in the vowel shapes.
Okay.
Keep going. Do it again. Start again. Taller. Yes. Am I heard?
No.
Okay. Does that make a difference? Do you feel a difference?
Yeah.
Do y'all hear a difference? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I started pulling up back here because the shape of the vocal tract is actually kind of like this, okay? And it's housed within here. The minute we start lifting up on our chin and cutting off the space in the back, we start distorting that shape and tightening or squeezing the tube the voice has to travel through, okay? So with this, I'm not able to get as much range, I'm not able to get as much focus as I do with this. And I didn't change my sound at all I did was change the shape or change the space, okay? So if you're giving me, sometimes I feel like a motherless child, it opens up the natural flow that the voice needs to travel in for the fullness of the sound, okay? Let's do that again, and you can go back to words, all right?
Okay. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child.
All right, can you put your hand right here? Where's your belly button?
Right here.
Okay, underneath your belly button. And I'm going to add a disclaimer to this. Now, when you took your breath, you did fill up your lungs, but I didn't see any of your lower muscles engaged, okay? And what that tells me is only the top part of his lung took in air. We want to fill up from the bottom to the top, okay? So if you can feel, and this is for everybody, if you can feel where your ribs are, feel where your ribs are. And that's how far down your lungs extend, all right? If you're only breathing here, you're only filling up half of your lung. You want to be able to fill up your full lung and be able to feel the expansion of the ribs so the full lung can fill up. Okay? Just do some inhales. And feel it right where your ribs are. Again. Yeah! Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale and sing.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child.
Fill up the lungs.
Sometimes I
Fill them up, I
feel
know.
like a motherless child.
Fill up.
A long way from home.
Fill up.
A long way from home.
That's the muscle that powers the breath. That's the muscle that keeps the diaphragm down. The diaphragm is not something we say, oh, I use my diaphragm. No, it doesn't work that way. It reacts to how much air you take in and the engagement of this muscle as well, okay? And that's what keeps the fullness of the breath and the diaphragm down as well, all right? Do it again. Oh, you go to the next, the true believer. Make sure you fill your lungs up, please. True believer.
True believer.
Do it again. Find your ribs. I need more fullness there.
True believer.
Good. Now fill those lungs up again and say true.
True.
Yeah, you feel all that space in your throat. Do you have it when you sing? Can we give that space when you sing? Go.
True believer.
Yeah, no, say true again. Fill up the lungs.
True believer.
Yeah, you hear a difference? There's more depth in the sound. So fill up the lungs and open the space every single time. Do it again and keep going.
True believer. True believer.
Do you feel like you're opening up the space when you breathe?
When I breathe.
When you inhale? Not this space, this space.
This space, a little bit. I need to do it.
More. Fill it up. Breathe, and Myra Merritt used to say, breathe in the space you're going to sing. Okay, so if you're singing in ooh, true believer, true, whatever it is, whatever, okay?
True believer.
You can do better.
True believer. True believer.
So do you see the pressure he's adding from the chest? Yeah, she's like, get him, get him. You see the pressure he's adding from the chest to get that strong true? You're actually wasting about 30% of your air when you do that. Can you invert that pressure down and pump it from right there? I won't hit you. Oh, he's not here. I had a student, I would punch him right in the stomach. But that would engage that muscle before the breath would go, okay? And
True believer. True believer.
And what happened? I know you like, did my voice crack? What happened there? Did you notice that?
Yeah.
The reason for that is you're applying air support that it hasn't felt before.
Okay.
It's not used to. I shouldn't say it hasn't felt before. It's not used to. So it's like, anybody still have a stick shift engine? Not very many people. We all drive automatics now. But with stick shifts, you have to kind of shift gears, and then the car kind of does this sputtering thing, and you're on the clutch or whatever. But you know, from the car to go from one gear to the next, there's a whole shifting that you have to do for the gears. With automatics, they've learned how to mask that shifting. We want to learn how to mask the shift in the gears, okay? So the change in the airflow will change the gears in the voice, but we just don't want it to be audible. Make sense?
Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean by the like learning to do something different.
Yes, yes. So your chords are like, wait, what did he do? That's different. And they'll get used to that. So until then, you just keep providing that space and that same airflow, okay? Do it again.
True believer.
Yes.
True believer. A long way from home.
Don't drop this because it's soft. Keep going.
A long way from home.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
If you do sometimes, the voice won't resonate as much because we sing on vowels and not on consonants. Sometimes. So keep the vowel shape.
Okay. Sometimes I feel like I'm almost gone. Sometimes I feel like I'm almost gone. Sometimes I feel like I'm almost gone.
Drop it.
A long way from
Stand up.
home. A long way from home.
Don't drop it. Stand up. Okay, I'm gonna stop you right now. When you have notes that go low, you don't have to drop your body form.
Okay.
Your voice is already sitting down there. Keep your torso up so you don't collapse on those lungs. Okay? All right, that's what we got to get to somebody else. Beautiful job. Angela Pleasance.
I'm coming back.
Oh! Dropping down on me. Oh, okay. Georgianne.
No, I'm passing.
Oh, see, guys. Laura, did I scare y'all away?
No, I think we misunderstood, right? We thought we were-
Well, what did you? Okay, so now I gotta understand what.
We thought maybe we
We
were
were
singing
gonna,
as a group.
it was a group that you were gonna.
Y'all want to come up and sing together?
Do you want us, the directors, do you want us to work something?
We can keep going because I do have. Well, hopefully I've got. If they don't back out on me now. So you were Laura, right?
Laura.
And then Randy.
I'll pass too.
Okay. My God is a rock. My ladies from BG. Y'all did sign up together, so. Okay. I can scare them off. Okay, we have to kind of get to explain master classes. By the Hampton Ministers Conference. Okay, so these ladies sang the My God is a Rock. Who's the arranger again? Hicks. And I did want a chance to work with you all on blend and all these other things, but you did a beautiful job, per se. So yeah, go ahead and bring them in. These are, give us your name.
My name is Sherry White. I am from Aubrey Seniors.
Maya Jimmy.
Kalia Lawson, Malia Ross, Lulu Glass, Amber Childs, Jasmine Rice.
All right, and who's singing what part?
I'm out the middle part.
Middle, who's also out the middle?
No,
No, okay, so you're singing lowest notes.
I'm
And,
mid-top alto,
okay,
middle soprano,
middle,
top soprano, bottom soprano.
okay. So you kind of got them kind of intermingled, not 1, 2, 3, but 3, 1, 2, or 3, 2, 1? Okay, all right, go ahead.
God is a rock in a weary land.
right. In a weary land, weary land. Do it again real quick. And feel each other when you come in. You don't need to.
From the beginning?
Yes.
Okay.
God is a rock in a weary land. Oh, my God is a rock. He's a shelter in the time.
Right there, please. He's a brief
Shelter in the time of storm.
Okay, you took like 4 breaths there. Just breathe that. He's a shelter in the time of storm. Whatever, you need to do that next part. He's a
He's a shelter in the time of
some people didn't. So if everybody doesn't breathe, then it might come out uneven. So if you all breathe together at up, and then shelter in the time of breathe together. Storm. Okay, breathe right there. He's a
He's a shelter in the time of storm.
Let's stop. So with he's, now I'm going to talk a little bit about vowel shape, especially in the spiritual, but even to get an even better blend amongst you all. I'm hearing a very pinched vowel or a closed vowel. If we can open that vowel up and open the space between our back teeth. So if you take your fingers and kind of rub that hinge where your jaw opens, so that you can get the jaw dropping and not forced open. If you're opening that much. You don't want to open that much. You want to open like this. Okay? It's going to cause friction here. You hear the difference? Alright, so try with he. You got that space right between there and
Shelter in the time of storm.
do it again, please. Again.
He's a shelter in the time of storm. Shelter in the time of storm.
Good. Take it from the beginning again, please. Remember that space. What do you say in the beginning? God is. God is. Yes. Especially for this style of music. Okay. Ready?
God is a rock in a weary land.
Okay. You guys have ooh. Now ooh. Yes. God. What is it? God is a rock. Can I give you a rock? Okay. Almost you guys swell the vowel. Okay. Do it again. God. Get ready.
God is a
Feel each other.
in
Do
a
it again. And when you move, feel each other's pulse. Feel each other's heartbeat when you move. Okay. Yeah. And that's what I say. They could really be a group. All right. Look. And
God
little bit.
Yeah.
A little. I said that because it could be more if everybody else would kind of shift to where her volume level is. That's a low note, especially for a lady. And to be able to project that, we need you all to kind of help support her through that. The very last shelter in the time. That works.
All right.
He's a shelter in the time of storm. A shelter in the time of storm.
Yeah, don't make her have to work that hard to get that low note out, okay? You can hear the difference, you like it? Alright, I think we have, who else? Jazz. You need some water, okay. Well, what about Hunter? Let's hear from Hunter and then we'll hear from Jasmine. Alright. Where are we on? All right. And tell us your name, where you're from, and sing in your years of step.
My name is Hunter Kirkland. I go to Wallach Central High School, and I've been studying vocal coach for 4 years, Mr. Green.
Okay. All right. And
I'll
you'll
be
be
standing
singing.
and singing. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Oh, sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Far, far away from home. A long, long way from home. Sometimes I feel like I'm already gone. Sometimes I feel like I'm already gone. Oh, sometimes I feel like I'm already gone. Far, far away from home. A long, long way from home. Oh, my soul, my heart is breaking. I feel so sad, my bones are aching. Oh, my soul, well, it wants to be glad, but I'm tired of being alone. Oh, my Lord, I wanna go home. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Oh, sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Far, far away from home. A long, long way from home.
So who is the arranger then? Yeah. But, okay, so I asked it because that's a modern take on it, and I kind of wanted to get a sense of what style it was written in. Did you have a recording of it, or it's sheet music?
I haven't.
Okay, can you just tell me who the arranger, who arranged that one? And go ahead and tell me what it's about.
It's about slavery and being taken away from your family. And the sometimes kind of signifies that she still has hope that her mother's out there and that she's going to find her one day.
Okay. And this is a story that we kind of talked a little bit earlier and translate to today as well. But when you're using a certain vocal style that I would say is not what we usually use in the style of the spiritual, okay? And the first thing, though, I would like to bring attention to is your posture. Are you a dancer? No? Okay. Okay, so the thing about your posture is you are relaxed but I think with the arch in your shoulders and the hunch in your back, you're not able to get as much expansion in your ribs, okay? So if you can straighten your spine up a little bit, you do have a tall torso. So if you can just kind of feel a straight line up your spine, and put your hand, find your ribs, and then put your hands kind of like this on your ribs, where your fingers are covering your ribs. Yeah, even more in the front. Okay, so are you feeling that expansion there when you breathe? So go ahead. Yes, that's much more expansion than what you were able to get when you were singing the first time. Okay, so let's keep that body up like that. You should feel more open. It is difficult sometimes to maintain that because that may not be what we're used to. So you want to kind of really be mindful of that. So go ahead and breathe and start your first line.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child.
Okay, good. Now instead of what I saw was that chest was coming down and the air was leaving you out this way. Can you work the breath to where the chest stays up and the air leaves out this way? Sometimes, even in soft singing, we still have to send the sound and the breath up and out, okay? Instead of down and okay? Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. And keep your ribs up, keep your body up, and send all the air out this way. Try that.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child.
Keep going.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Oh, sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Far, far away from home. A long, long way from home.
Okay, put your hand down here and breathe again and sing that line again.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child.
So let me stop you. Do you feel anything happening with this muscle here? Can you get that muscle engaged in what you're doing? Okay, let's try it again.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child.
Different, isn't it?
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Oh, sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Far, far away from home. A long, long way from home.
All right, let's bend at the waist and sing that line again. Bend that all the way over at the waist. And I want you to relax everything up here and use the lower back and the lower abdomen. Let's go ahead and try that again.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child.
Different.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Oh, sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Far, far away from home. A long, long way from home.
How is that different? Yes. You're inflating the full lung. And then when you do that, you have an opportunity. Thank you, Lynn Shaw Bailey. Okay, yeah, this is a completely different Let Nature Sing. Okay, all right, yeah, I was completely unfamiliar with this version. So it kind of helps me to see where you're going vocally, what kind of tone is probably expected for this. So yeah, and I'm not going to change that for you. The biggest thing would be to get that breath engaged though. So when you are engaging that breath though, sometimes I feel like a motherless child. This muscle here controls everything that needs to happen up here. If we're not using it, then we're kind of relying on things that could fail us from time to time, depending on if you're in a good mood or, you know, if you're in good voice or in good health. All these things need to stem from that muscle right here. And when you have, if you want to be able to power it from that muscle, so that you can control and keep all the muscles here from getting in the way. Okay, let's do that again. Feel that low breath.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child.
Power.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child.
Yes.
Oh, sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Far, far away from home, a long, long way from home.
Yeah, do you sing with the microphone a lot? No? Okay, well, sometimes we tend to, if we do sing with microphones, we tend to rely on the microphone to carry us. We have to know how to project that voice with the body, whether we have a microphone or not, okay? And then you had a verse in here. Where did it go? Oh, my Lord, my heart is breaking, right there.
Oh my Lord, my heart is breaking.
Can you keep the chest out of the voice? Does that make sense? Yeah. I see your chest going up and down a lot to control what the voice is doing, and really is cutting off your airflow. So if the chest is a bone, this right here, and it's heavy, and some of us have heavier things going on than others, but if we allow that bone to collapse down, serious, but if we allow that bone to collapse down, then it cuts off that air, okay? So we want to make sure this bone stays out of the way, and we sing with the squishy parts on the inside, okay? Oh my Lord.
Oh my Lord, my heart is breaking. I feel so sad, my bones are aching.
Yes.
Oh my soul, well it
Let it
wants
flow.
to be glad,
Flow up.
but I'm tired of being alone. Oh my soul, I wanna go home.
Yes. Keep going.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child.
Even when you're soft, even when you're soft, you want to send that voice out and point that sound on the breath. Okay? Did you all hear me? But if you say it like this, it won't kill. Okay? So we want to keep sending the voice out, even when we're soft. Right there.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless
Feel
child.
it, feel it.
Oh, sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Far, far away from home, a long, long way from home.
Do that long again.
A long, long way from
Chest up, chest up.
home.
Keep holding, hold. Chest up. Different? Okay, good, 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 good. If you're not engaging down here, the lungs can't fill up completely. And then again, it's kind of touch and go. We're not able to get the fullness of sound that is in our body. Okay? Great job, great job. And Jasmine, you ready? All right, Jasmine. She'll be our last one, and then I'll take a few questions, if there are any. Tell us your name, if you've been studying, and what you're singing.
My name is Jasmine Rice. I'm from Bowling Green State University. I haven't had any professional training or anything, but I've been in the choir since 4th grade, and I'm in my last semester of senior year in college, so
All right.
a while. Oh, and today I'll be singing Summertime from the Corky and Bess arrangement.
Yay! Have you all seen the Bay production? That's going on February 1st. Find your local movie theater. You should be able to go to the movies and watch the Metropolitan Opera production of Porgy and Bess going on right now. I have quite a few friends in that production. Yeah, it's exciting. Go ahead. chiaroscuro. And that's the light and the dark voice, okay? And learning how there were times when we got that placement, where we got that ring, you all know what I mean? Where it kind of just shimmered, and then there were other times when it was and you didn't have much stress. And but again, no training, that's amazing. So if you could plug your nose for me and say the word summertime and the living is easy without sounding like you're in your mouth.
Summertime and the living is easy.
Keep going.
Fish are jumping and the
Uh-huh. It's hard. Keep going. Yeah. Fish are. Oh, your daddy's.
Ooh, your daddy's rich and your ma is good looking.
Mm-hmm. So hush.
So hush, little baby, don't you cry.
Now sing it. So. Plug your nose. No, keep plugging your nose. Yeah. Why do you think I had her plug her nose?
Because,
Come on.
she do too much of it, I guess.
A part of it. I see another hand.
Sounds less nasally and more full.
More full. So plug in your nose. We have this thing we call soft palate. And if you take the tip of your tongue, you're behind your teeth, and you got the hard palate, the roof of your mouth, and then you come all the way back and you squish it. Put that part in your mouth. That's the soft palate. That's what we use to free up the voice, to create that fullness of sound, in addition to, of course, the full body. But with that space in your mouth, if you're talking and it sounds like this, your soft palate is loud. So we work to keep the soft palate raised at all times. And this is just a little trick that we can use to feel and indicate whether or not we are keeping that soft palate up at all times. Okay, so that is singing with the soft palate up all the time, and that's what we really work to do. And really, it's something we want to utilize in any genre, because, and not saying you're going to sing Beyonce song like this, but if you're keeping flexibility in the soft palate, and you're using it somewhat, it keeps the freedom of the voice, and you're able to use the resonance instead of the muscles of the voice, okay? And then the other thing, we're going to talk a little bit more about the breath, but let's go to the second verse. Now, you gave me more of that spin in the second verse, which was great, and we're going to make sure it's grounded to the bottom, okay? So one of these mornings, you think you can do it without putting it up?
I'll try.
Okay. You so I train myself every time I breathe, I engage that muscle, and every sound that I pull out is being pulled out from that muscle. Okay? Boom, it's a beer. My gas pedal. Gas pedal. Yeah. Yeah. Can you breathe? Can you breathe, man? Outside of your voice and knowing what your point is, not trying to create a bigger sound than what is really natural for you. So giving me deep river is kind of spreading the sound out and learning kind of where your balance is, to where you're not having to overextend yourself, you're not overextending anything in the throat, and the less we feel, the better it is. Has anyone ever said that to you? The less you feel here, the more sound you're able to put out. The more balanced it is, the more supported it is. So my indicator for, okay, I may have dropped my support or I might be tensing up, is if I start to feel something happening in here. Okay? So yeah, the more you just get used to relieving that tension and relying on the rest of the body, it's almost like you're suspending the voice in midair, and you want to create just enough airflow to kind of keep it nice and bouncy. Does that make sense? So instead of deep river, yeah, it might sound big and crunchy and juicy, but I'm feeling pressure, I'm feeling tension, so I start to adjust that. Where's deep? Deep. Play around with all the different colors from that placement. Does that make sense? Yeah, find where it's not heavy.
It feels like you're pushing the sound towards you.
Yeah. Or if for some singers who have larger voices, we can talk about pulling the sound this way. Deep river. So that keeps it a little bit more lean. But if I'm putting out all my energy in that first pitch, it's going to be hard for me to be able to give nuance and variation to my sound and my color as the song progresses or as the whole concert progresses. Does that help? Okay, great. Yes?
Our director, Miss Benny, is always telling the altos.
Tell Miss Benny, hi.
I will.
Okay.
She's always telling the altos to get out of our chests.
Mm-hmm.
And the sound is too heavy. Do you have any tips?
I do. One thing I like to do is, and of course you can't do this in concert, but I'll practice where I'm doing one hand up here and one hand down here. Well, give me an example from one of your pieces. I know it's hard to think of it. Precious Lord, take my hand. I'm kind of stretching the space on the inside and using the fullness of the space. Lead me on to the land. I almost dipped into my chest there. And then sometimes when you're working together and creating one sound, yeah, you do have to work, but you know, when you're by yourself, you can dip down and do a little color from down there. But yeah, that is one thing that kind of helps when I'm practicing. And another thing is to place your hand here. You may feel vibration, but if you feel tightness, if you feel that coming up and down, then the chest is going to constrict the resonance that you can be getting from that head tone. So precious Lord, pray, pray. That's when I feel my chest tighten. Precious Lord. Does that make sense? So kind of gauge what your body is doing. And everybody is different. And I talked about, because some people have more weight here, and I've dealt with this for a long time. So even finding how to position my body so that, you know, it's not weighing down on my voice, but I can keep it, yeah, kind of nice and lifted, if you will. Does that help? Okay, good. And then that red, yes. And then I see you. Do you pay attention to what your tongue is doing? One quick trick, and just depending, and a lot of it is intentional, knowing what your body is doing. One quick trick is to stick your tongue out. So that the back of your tongue is not tightening and constricting the larynx. The larynx is the voice box, and it's connected to your tongue. The tongue is a very strong muscle and can really choke your sound out. So I can kind of, and I'm not going to say thick all the way out, but it's kind of a lift. I have more freedom when my tongue is lifted in the back of my mouth, and I start to feel tight when it falls back. Because then the larynx, you start feeling the pressure on the larynx or the voice box. So if you're keeping the back of that tongue flexible and loose, it should help to free up what's going on here. And of course you need the, of course, okay? And baby boy right here.
I would just like to ask, how would you go about, any exercises or tips to help elongate the breath so that when we carry out phrases or when we sing notes that we're able to, reach that point where we can bring it down,
Yes. Do you do lip trills?
Yeah.
Do you do tongue trills? All right. Now, do you sing your phrases on the lip trill?
No.
Try that, okay? And you guys did My God is a Rock, right? So as the notes are moving, you're keeping the breath streamlined all the way through. And again, it's muscle memory. If you're kind of working and pumping the breath for every single note, then you get tired and your phrases get really short. So learning how to feed the breath on one even stream all the way through the line so you don't get tired and you're engaging your diaphragm, okay? So those kinds of exercises. I love doing lip trills on the songs that I'm singing. Tongue trills as well, and you can hum the line to really pay attention to how far your breath is taking you. And if you have trouble, another exercise just without the music would be how many numbers can you sing on one breath? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. And I've worked myself up to about 40, 45. But I started off, I was at 17. So, and then I do it again, and then I got to 20. And then I keep doing it, and then I get to 22. And maybe 25. So that's like individual work. You can do it as a section. Let's see how far your section can take that breath and what number you go till. Okay, so that's just taken away. And you might want to do it in a pitch that you're not expelling a lot of air. If it's too low, you're going to waste breath. If it's too high, you're going to wait too hard. So just find a kind of medium pitch for you. Okay? Next. All right, I think I'm way over my time. But I had so much fun with you guys. And if you guys still want to work, maybe we can work another time. I'm sorry, I scared you guys off. But so thank you all, and we're going to keep moving with the next workshop.